Lecture 6, Selecting an Adult Service Dog Candidate. Whether a dog will be an acceptable service dog in public over the long term is dependent on many varying factors. Since there is no consistent definition of success for either owner-trained or program-trained assistance dogs, any statistics are general indicators at best. Success rate for shelter dogs becoming assistance dogs is between 5 to 15% for one program. Program-trained hearing alert dogs from shelters from one facility had up to a 31.5% success rate. Hearing dogs need to be more active and alert, and a wider variety of breeds were typically accepted. The best success rates for the hearing dogs came from mixed and purebred lap dogs or companion breeds, spaniels, and terriers. Comparatively, as discussed before, specifically bred guide dog puppies had success rates between 50 and 80% for another program. There are no statistics available for success rates of owner-trained assistance dogs. We do know that many owner trainers have multiple dogs since several prospects have been removed from training or service in their prime due to health or temperament issues. Sources of their dogs are from both breeders of varying reputation and shelters and rescues. If starting with an adult dog sounds like a better option for you in your situation, there are some foundation desirable characteristics to look for and others to avoid in adult dogs. Since shelter and rescue dogs have unknown health histories, have serious candidates x-rayed for hips, elbows, and do other tests typical for the breeds to rule out these types of problems before accepting the dog as a candidate. Here is an article that will be of interest that compares data for purebred with mixed breed dogs. The link is in blue. Desirable characteristics of a service dog candidate. These are the key characteristics of an adult service dog to have. Once a dog is an adult, about 18 to 24 months old, the temperament is pretty much set. While behaviors can be changed, the temperament drives the underlying response to situations. Adolescent dogs, 6 months to 17 months, with an unknown social and environmental background are hard to tell what they are and what they may become. They may be in the middle of a fear period or may not. Additionally, transitioning homes during fear periods is very hard on most dogs and can affect the development of their temperament. That is why we want to consider only dogs that are 18 months to 3 years of age. In general, dogs under 3 years of age will provide duration of service that is reasonable to the amount of training that needs to go into a dog to become a service dog. In some cases, you may consider a dog up to 5 years of age. More on that below. Here's the list. Adaptable to many different situations and expectations. Confident, has low level of stress as the job as a service dog can be stressful. Friendly and approachable with kids, not just tolerant, as you never know when a child might run up and fling her arms around the dog. Adults, men, seniors, but not overly friendly as you need the dog's focus to be on you. A dog who is good at social interactions in general with people and other dogs. Polite. The dog asks before doing a behavior rather than just pushing his way into it. Has body awareness, so not knocking into things or people. Be food or toy motivated or both for training. Wants to interact and be with people. Low to medium exercise needs unless you lead an active lifestyle. Forgiving if you accidentally run over his feet with a wheel, bump into him while walking, or an ear, foot, or flank gets pinched or squeezed. Resilient temperament. Bounces back quickly after a scare or a correction. Quickly meaning a few seconds. Social with other dogs, polite but not overly interested. Good with cats and other animals as they are often found in public locations. Low to no prey drive, so easy to live with. Inhibited bite when in play, a soft mouth is ideal. Tolerant to loud sounds like thunderstorms, gunshot, and fireworks, which they must have been introduced to when young. Additional skills are optional. A retrieve and loose leash walking is a bonus, as it can be a long haul to retrain this in some dogs. You'll want to rule out health issues, joints like knees and elbows and hips, eyes, deafness, severe allergies, bowel issues, which can be an indication of stress level, bladder incontinence, or the opposite, withholding urine, where the dog doesn't pee for a number of days due to stress in new situations. chronic ear infections, and skin issues. Unacceptable characteristics of a service dog candidate. Moderate to shy behavioral issues. You don't want to take on a rehab project. Fearful, shy dog that startles or snaps when woken up or growls when disturbed when resting. Aggressive, territorial, or protective. Is wary or stiffens when strangers approach the handler. Dogs that do not tolerate people in their personal space. Overly social, jumping excessively or overexcited. High prey drive for cats, small animals, birds, or small dogs. A dog that takes a while to recover from incidents, not forgiving of toes being stepped on, for example. A dog that is overreactive to such situations, for example, being wary of a wheelchair for a long period of time after his toes have been run over. Fearful or very uncomfortable around children. Reactive, pays much more attention than is normal or suitable for the situation to sounds, sights, smells, movements of other people, other dogs, bikes, cars, etc. These dogs often scan the environment constantly. A dog that barks often, whether excitement or protection. Noise or sound sensitive to electronic sounds, loud booms, thunderstorms. Be wary of dogs that have been on an e-fence or electronic fence system, as they have a high chance of being afraid of electronic sounds like these. A nervous dog. Uninhibited bite during play, unaware where his mouth is or his own strength. Dogs with poor work ethic. We want an eager dog to do something for us. Low interest in training, and a personality conflict with the handler. For example, the dog enjoys physical contact and the handler does not. Assessing dogs for a career as a service dog is a video 1 hour and 19 minutes long. This video includes a preliminary test for a shelter dog. See video assessing dogs for a service career. There is one reliable assessment test. One of the more reliable tests so far that has stood up under repetitious research is based on the dog's response to environmental stimuli. It is called CARROT, Clothier Animal Response Assessment Tool, and was designed by Suzanne Clothier. It is not so much a temperament test as it is a way to categorize behavior traits in multiple components that are intuitive and practical. Quote, "If you happen to be lucky to live near a CARROT evaluator, it is worthwhile to pay the cost of having them evaluate a potential puppy or dog. Best to rule out an unsuitable candidate sooner than later." Here's a link. And there's also a second link. Other so-called temperament tests are only good for that moment in time when a pup is tested, since dog temperament and learning is affected so much by the environment he lives in and he is shaped by experience. The tests done when puppies are still with the litter, see selection of a reputable breeder lecture, are especially non-predictive of future temperament according to research, even if they are done by knowledgeable, experienced people. If the tests are used, they must be reassessed periodically to see how the pup has changed. Even just simple learning can significantly change the outcome in a few days' time. What the test will do is to help you rule out dogs as candidates, as they will show undesirable behaviors such as fear or aggression. If any of these appear, stop testing, as the dog is not a suitable candidate and the tester risks getting hurt. The more simple temperament tests start to have more ability to predict the future adult dog if they are done at 18 months, once the dog's temperament is set for life. It is always a good idea to hire an experienced local behaviorist or knowledgeable positive reinforcement trainer to help you evaluate a potential candidate and the environment he is coming from. A third party who is not emotionally involved may see what you miss. This person can save you much heartache as well as time, cost, and energy. If you are considering a dog that is far away from you, definitely hire an unbiased dog professional to check out the dog and the seller, adopter, as well as the environment the dog is in. Whether you or someone else interacts with the dogs, videotape the interactions and take notes about the interactions to refer to later. You'll get a different perspective, more enlightening, from the video than you do in person. It's more objective. Knowing how to read dog body language will help you significantly. If you would like to learn more, Donna created, but no longer admins, a Facebook group called Observation Skills for Dog. Here's the link. And 2 webinars hosted at Dog iBox. Part 1, here's a link, and Part 2, another link. She also offers an online self-study class, Dog as a Second Language, through Fenzi Dog Sports Academy. Registration is open at any time for this class. Where to get adult dogs. 1. Guide dog programs. A dog that has been removed from a guide dog program may still make a good assistance dog, depending on what it has been removed for. 2. A reputable breeder may need to rehome a dog if it doesn't turn out to be as successful as it is hoped in the show ring or has been retired as a champion. They may also have breeders available that only had one litter and they decided not to breed it for some reason. They may occasionally have adult dogs returned to them for a variety of reasons, from illness or death of the owner and other unforeseen circumstances that has nothing to do with the dog. A dog up to 5 years of age may be suitable for small to medium breeds, especially if they already have significant training. For larger dogs that don't live as long, you want a dog that's about 3 years old to maximize the working life of the dog. The great thing is that the dog's health and social history will be known, and many of your questions will be able to be answered. 3. Breed-specific rescues who foster dogs in homes of volunteers. These may be responsible breeders who are taking on dogs of the same breed that are not of their own breeding, or they may be volunteers who are interested in supporting dogs in need of a specific breed. 4. Dogs that have been fostered for a long period of time in a home environment, at least a month, and foster families have had a chance to see the dog interact in public. These may be pure or mixed breeds. 5. Prison shelter programs train shelter dogs the basic behaviors and get to know them over a period of time. Most of these, however, will be adolescent dogs. 6. A dog that is still in its first home may be an option if you are good at evaluating people and their motives. Some owners will tell you anything just to get rid of the dog. If there's any pressure to adopt, like time deadlines, this is probably not the dog for you. Here are some general pointers. Ask if you can take the dog on a trial period for up to 3 months to see if the dog might make a good candidate. It can take several months to see the dog's true temperament come out in a new environment and to develop a bond. Most dogs don't generalize behavior easily, both good and bad behaviors, to new environments, so this is why we often see unwanted behaviors take a while to resurface. Change the environment, the behavior changes. If the environment provides a situation similar to when the unwanted behavior appears, then the behavior will likely reappear. Here's an assessment to have the dog's current primary caregiver to fill out honestly. This will give you an idea of the level of impulse control the dog has. I have made a PDF version of just the test for you to print off and give to the dog's primary caregiver. Ideally, have them fill it out, but even if you ask them the questions, it will provide some useful information about the dog's behavior. Check out Homework 3 section for the PDF link. The other key piece of information to get, if you can, is who the primary caregiver was: female, male, adult, senior, etc. This is important since some dogs will bond more quickly and easily to a person of the same sex or age as the previous caregiver. Some dogs will not bond with or be willing to work for a person that does not fit that description, or at the very least, it will take a long time to do so. Do you have other valid suggestions where it's likely you may find a quality service dog candidate? Please email them to us so we can add them here. Where to avoid getting a dog. Be wary of people rehoming their dogs on internet classified ads. They will often omit key information, and their interpretation of what makes a good assistance dog and what actually does may be two different things. They may just want to foist a dog off on you so you take the responsibility for it. It's not their problem anymore, and they don't care what an imposition it is on you. It also sounds great when they rehome a dog as a working dog. Avoid dogs who are raised in or spend considerable time outdoors in kennels, yards, barns, or tie-outs, etc. These dogs have not developed enough people social skills or exposed to enough human-related activity and objects and sounds to be easily able to transition to lives with public access. This also applies to dogs from puppy mill situations. Avoid dogs that have not been socialized to kids, teens, seniors, and other animals, small animals such as other small dogs, rabbits, cats, etc., unless they have a very gentle temperament. If the dog already has a history of chasing other animals, rule it out. While some shelters have excellent programs to identify potential service dogs, many have no knowledge of what characteristics are needed. Some are just desperate to get the dogs out of the shelters and into a home. A dog in a shelter behaves very differently than one in a home or in public. A shelter is a very stressful place. Think of how your behavior is different in a class with 100 other people than when you are at home. This is not to say you can't find a potential candidate in a shelter, it's just not very likely, and you must be willing to take a huge risk and bring in expert help to find that dog. Refer to the service dog success statistics cited in the introduction of the lecture. Make sure the shelter will allow you to return the dog for up to 6 months in case she or he turns out to have health or behavioral issues that will impact his or her ability as a service dog. Of course, with shelter dogs, there is usually no access to health history of the parents, so health testing of the dog's hips, elbows, and other health issues at the appropriate age, typically around 2 years of age, is the only way to know how healthy a dog actually is. For example, a veterinarian cannot tell if a dog has hip dysplasia or not just by looking. A proper X-ray from a specific angle is needed. You can eliminate shelters that do not assess the dogs before adopting them out. Also, in low-volume shelters, it may take a very long time to see a potential candidate come through. Avoid dogs from First Nations or Indian reservations and former street dogs, as they lack the early positive socialization needed to the outside world. These dogs often have an underlying fear of humans, of being confined on leash, and may be reactive to sounds and movement. Avoid dogs being brought in from other countries. Little is known about these dogs, whether they're pure or mixed breed dogs, and it is a huge risk to think one will work out as a service dog. That cannot be trained out of them nor loved out of them. They have not had sufficient positive socialization to people within a narrow socialization window. Typically, you will only get to see a photo of the dog before you receive them. Avoid dogs that have been spayed or neutered at a very young age, weeks to months old. Many breeds, golden retrievers, Labrador retrievers, German shepherd dogs, and others, may be negatively affected when they are spayed under 18 months of age or neutered under a year, when their hormonal system that regulates their metabolism and growth is removed. Effects can be both on behavior and health/structure. Health. Here's a link to long-term effects of spay and neuter on dogs. And behavior, another link on the effects of neutering.